I think that's... What's going on, guys? Just do another Facebook Live, sharing stories of my book, sharing stories of my clients' books, giving you a couple bits of information hopefully you can use in your own business. But the book I wrote is called Dream Starter, the Startup Business Guide for the Die-Hard Entrepreneur. And I help entrepreneurs write and publish best-selling books, and then I teach them how to use it as the ultimate marketing tool through a company called DreamStartersUniversity.com. Drake, you're back, baby! Yes! What's up, Sean? Sean, you need your book out there repackaged, just to let you know. You got to get that book done. Hey, Sean. Sean Close. Yeah. And so, I help entrepreneurs write and publish best-selling books, and I teach them how to use it as the ultimate marketing tool through a company called DreamStartersUniversity.com. You could either write the book yourself, or we can interview you, and then we can write the book for you, telling all your stories. And that speeds up the process. So, I'm going to be sharing information with you from my book, from my clients' books, and the book that I'm going to be reading from, you can actually get for free on my website at Dream Starters University. Some people are texting me. Sorry about that. You can get on my website at DreamStartersUniversity.com and go up to the very top and just click on ebook, put your email in, and get the book sent to you. I highly recommend it, but I might be a little bit impartial. The reason why I'm showing Creepshow 2 in the background here is because I want to show you the power of a book. Stephen King, I'm a big fan of Stephen King, more so his movies than his books, but I'm getting into his books and actually reading them. But Stephen King wrote this movie, and if you learn a little bit about Stephen King, which I highly recommend, you're going to find... These text messages are getting crazy. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Drake. I thought you were on, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're just invisible. Okay. But if you look into Stephen King's background, he went through some crazy stuff. He would write every day as a kid, and his teachers, told him he was no good, and he just kept writing and kept writing. And he has a motto now. I don't know if you ever heard this. He says, "My formula for learning to write well is this: read and write 4 to 6 hours per day." Sounds crazy. But he says if you cannot find the time for that in anything that you love to do, then you can never expect to be great at it. Now, I try to write or read 4 hours a day. It's usually more, but on weekends I do kind of go a little easy and go to flea markets and whatnot, but I try to read or write at least 4 hours a day. I don't know if I'm up to 6 yet. But his stories are all written down. 1977, he got picked up and started doing the movie called The Shining, which, obviously you saw how powerful that and how big that became. But it came from his ideas. It came from his thoughts, putting down on a piece of paper. That piece of paper got into the right hands. That person gave it to the next person, turned it into a movie. He becomes big time. Gets another deal, gets another deal, gets another deal. The power of a book is not just about getting movies. It's just getting your thoughts down on paper so people can understand who you are and what you have to offer. Who else is on here? Looks like we got just those two still. And he wrote Creepshow and then Creepshow 2, which is just a collection of stories. But when you were able to do that, it leads to another thing, and it leads to another thing, and people were able to just start gaining an audience. Maybe one person saw Creepshow and they didn't see Creepshow 2, or they saw the movie It and they see another movie that, and it all basically just in full circle. People are able to come in from all over the place. And that's what we do, is we teach people how to use a book, to use it on social media, to use it in LinkedIn, to use it in videos, to use it as a tool to get a speaking gig, as a way to give value before you ask for it. Book is the ultimate business card also. So if you give it to someone, people are going to remember that way more than, let's just say, an actual business card itself. I want to read something to you guys. It's pretty incredible. And this is from my book. It's chapter 17 called Fear Not. I think we're okay here. It says, H.P. Lovecraft, an American author of horror and science stories in the early 1900s, was a man who took storytelling in a new direction and changed the genre forever. In one of his more famous quotes, he said, "The oldest and strongest..." Hey, Carlo. Thanks for watching, man. "The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. I always talk about this at my motivational seminars. And, you know, people don't quit that job. People don't get out of that relationship. People don't start a book. People don't go after that business because of the fear of the unknown. And that will hold people back way more than anything else. Whether the excitement to drive that damn Lamborghini, which all these people are posting about, the fear of the unknown always is beyond the excitement of actually getting it. So you got to break through that. I interpret this quote to mean you should use fear to take action. And that is a common piece of advice I give to other entrepreneurs. In my eyes, fear is a good thing. Fear is the common denominator among all people that try to do something out of the ordinary. When there is no map home and no map to safety, then it's only natural to be afraid. Everyone experiences it sometime in his or her life. It will either cause you to slow down or speed up. Fear is not the enemy. Inactivity is the enemy. When you feel, see, or sense fear, use it to your advantage. Hey Jenna, take action and never look back. Regret is the result of inactivity, and regret is my ultimate fear. One guy was asking me, a potential client was asking me, what was my biggest failure so far to date with Dream Starters? And I told him all about my failures as, you know, creating software in 2008, 2009, rewards program events. He's like, no. Tell me about a failure with your books. And the only one I can think of is the failure with a young lady, and she might be watching later on. She started her book, and we have two options. One, you can write the book yourself, and we do the rest, we turn into a bestseller and all that. Or we can actually write the book for you, which I prefer because we can control the entire process. But she started the book and was never able to finish it. I mean, it's been 4 months. We're all about getting the book done within 60 days. And so when I hear people say, I want to start a book, chances are 80% of chance that you're never going to start a book. And then when they do, they usually will not finish. It's just statistics out there. I'm not saying pretending to you guys or not. But most people who start it don't finish. And I saw that in this young lady. And it kills me inside that her dream is just on hold because she's afraid of the story she's putting down on a piece of paper. And that's just the wrong mentality. Fear is holding all these people back, and that's what's stalling people from getting their damn book done. You know, it took me a little bit of time to write this, but now I write books in 60 days. And if you're out there and you're scared to write a book, or if you don't think you're an expert on it, it's all about becoming the expert in something. So it's a journey. You know, it takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It's not going to happen overnight. No matter what you see on these Instagram lives, these Facebook lives, people with Ferraris after a month of owning a business. You dig deep enough, most likely there's something that happened in their life, whether they're born into wealth or something else that got them there. So don't even compare yourself to those people. But your story is unique, and I'm a big believer in using your story to get into those doors, to get leverage, to get people to notice you. And since your story is unique, you're able to attract attention. Hey, Marcia, thanks for watching. You're able to attract attention in a certain way that other people cannot, because your story is way different than other person's. And I would use that as a tool to get you places that other person cannot. A book is sort of like the, hey Melissa, book is it levels the playing field. You know, before you had to know a lot of people to get a book out there and become a bestseller. With Amazon nowadays, there's a trick where it's basically through leverage, positioning, and timing. If you leverage your network, you position in the right genre, and then you time it right, you can actually become a bestseller. And maybe that's the key to life, is those 3 things: leverage, positioning, and timing. If you leverage who you are, your network, all your resources, in the right spot at the right time, good things can happen. That's why I believe a book is one of the keys that got me speaking events, got me clients, got me noticed on social media. And I recommend it for anybody who's looking to do the same. So if you guys have any questions, you could either reach out to me directly, direct message me, email me, mfallat@dreamstarterspgh.com. Get a free copy of my book, dreamstarteruniversity.com. This movie, people are still probably wondering why I'm showing Creepshow 2, which is a fantastic movie. It all comes back to a book. That movie became something because of a man actually wrote it down on a piece of paper, turned it into a book, got enough attention, and it all kind of flows together. Use your story to your advantage. Any questions, guys? Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll be doing this more and more. I'm going to be pulling out all my old horror movies, all the documentaries that I have, so I'll have plenty of good content for you. Thanks, guys.